I'm going to try to record this real quick and state to you the best way I can tell you how the program works. And, most people don't know their involvement in it. And they have different roles. But I can tell you this. Clear blue day, man. No clouds. It feels a lot better up here on this side, on the surface world. I wanted to share with you how this goes. I had no intention on doing this. My friend shows up to my house. My friend DJ. He's bullshitting with me, He's trying to get money from me is what he's trying to do. He thinks I don't know this, okay? I do. And he says to me, I was talking about my brother. I said, my brother got 100 pairs of shoes just recently from a guy that he knew up in Erie, PA. Okay, and that's true. And he was like, oh shit, you got any good ones? Because I was telling him my brother gave me like 10 pairs of shoes. All brand new, never worn. 10 pairs. And nice shoes, New Balances, dress shoes, Steve Sperry shoes. Good shoes, man. Like this guy had given him his whole collection. He died. And his wife decided my brother was going to be the one she chose to distribute these shoes. My brother gave me 10 pairs, okay? I had no intention on having this conversation with this guy, let alone this guy even come to my house. I didn't even know he was coming. And he's like, man, I got a pair of Pinkos, he says. I'm like, what are you talking about? What is Pinkos? What does that mean? I'm like, I never heard of Pinkos. What are you talking about? I said, those are shoes? He said, yeah, Pinkos. Man, I've been around, but I ain't been around long enough to see a pair of Pinkos. I said, I'm not denying, the existence of them, but I never heard of one. I tried looking them up. Nowhere to be found. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, they're hard. He's like, they're hard. They're new tennis shoes, size 11, your size. And he's like, somebody just gave them to me. I'll sell them to you for $10. I don't care about that. $10 don't matter. I gotta like the shoe. It gotta be quality, not quantity with me. $10, so I'll buy it. Basically anything. I'm cheap. I'm poor. So he says, yeah, they're Pinkos. He goes to his house, man. Ends up bringing these things back to my house. And they weren't Pinkos, okay? I thought they were called Pinkos. He's an old head, so you don't really know much. But they weren't Pinkos. What he had was called Princes. Prince. They have a P emblem on them. They're tennis shoes just like any other buddy. But they're specifically and were designed for tennis players and to play tennis. And they weren't called Pinko, they were called Prince. I think Agassi or somebody, maybe Sampras, the man Agassi, I don't know. They were actually nice shoes. Good pair of tennis shoes. Something I had needed right for that moment. I can't deny that I needed them. I needed a pair of white tennis shoes, that's all. My brother gave me a bunch of shoes, but none of them were plain white tennis shoes, which I used to always wear. Plain white Forces. And that was my go-to. And I got a pair of Pinkos, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit? They're nice shoes. And they were labeled Prince on them. Now, listen up. Such a random event. I never planned it. I never thought about it. It's not what I planned. It wasn't my plan, is what I'm saying to you. It wasn't my plan. Like, I'm going to call DJ later on and have him bring over that pair of Pinkos that he has, that he's been telling me about. No, it didn't happen like that. I'm saying that to say this. God wanted it to happen just how it happened. The program, whatever you want to say, God, the program, just through thoughts and manifestations, I guess, like, and prayers. God knew that I needed these, apparently. I haven't really been praying for white shoes, but I got me a pair of Princes. Probably cheap, whatever. Not to me. Not to me. What meant something to me was that not only some force other than myself had known this and made it happen to take action and make it happen, is what I'm saying. You call God, maybe the Holy Spirit, maybe some ghostly entity. I'm not sure. But it knew I was going to the Jesus Christ Superstar play later on that night in a pair of Princes with my Prince shoes, sitting in seat 111, where I'm going to tell you about Psalm 111, which is one of the few mentions of Mr. Mystery Man himself, Melchizedek. I've told many people, many times, the secret of his name. The name that nobody knows but he himself. And that name, of course, with Jesus, you're talking about the Word of God. With Michael Zadok, you're talking about Michael Zadok. So I said a name, nobody knows what the hell I'm saying. People look at me crazy, dude. You should see the way people look at me. If I told my mother it, she'd probably lock me up or call the police on me at least. Michael Zadok. And it's just spelled Melchizedek in the Bible. And it's only written maybe, I think, Psalm 111, which happens to be exclusively where I am placed in my seat. Now, I don't know about you. I've never been to the Byham Theater. Also from the supposed curse line of Ham, right? The curse had been reversed, right? I told you my goal on this earth is to turn the hearts of the fathers back to the children and the children's hearts back to the fathers. That is written about in the book of Malachi. That is what is going to happen when Michael comes back. Resides upon the earth. If people knew he was back now, I'd be a dead man. I'd be killed. I wouldn't make it, man. That's what I'm saying. I'd be killed. I gotta grow my hair out, change my identity, put a mask on. That's why I was wearing a mask. Well, for the same reason you were, right? Protect the ones we love. They're doing facial recognition, studying your cheek data along with your bone and structure of your face. We all have different makeups. Well, why can't you see the picture of Joseph Smith. Why was there no picture? Is there a picture? What's in the picture? What's so important about a picture? I don't get it. That's why I want you to see no face when you see me. Because I don't represent anything or anybody. I represent many people. Many times I've been certain things and have performed certain acts, played certain roles, made different various art designs, paintings, drawings, whatever. Man, I'm an artist. I create. Also, Cherokee and Irish, so I have different type of artistry behind myself that is not typical, or to a point where you could pin me down to a certain category, or say I'm a certain way, I'm a certain person. Guaranteed. It's like the architect studying Neo. Okay, when he studied Neo, he saw a million versions of Neo that he had. And that he one was really making him upset. And that got Neo mad. And he could understand what was going on. And he chose to stay silent on the one side he wanted to keep hidden. He didn't want you to know. So there's a saying out there that says, I only let you see what I want you to see. And you only know what I want you to know. I've lived my life many times that way. But with God, is what I'm saying, is He's going to show you it regardless. He's going to put it in your face. And because an evil generation seeks a sign. Not somebody like me. I'm not even anybody anyways. But we all want a sign. We all want to see signs and explanations on why things operate the way they do and how they work, and what are the things to look for when you look. And I'm just trying to help you. That's it. I'm not trying to hinder your process or anything. But like for me, like those are examples I could give. Kind of classic examples. I mean, I'm directly under the damn cherubs, man. Front row, orchestra seating. Seat 111. Kind of odd, so I always go to Psalms. Well, what's Psalm 111 mention? Well, it happens to mention one of the few mentions of the most mysterious man. The most mysterious man in biblical Bible. Just the Bible in general. Melchizedek. I'll tell you what. You let me know when you can find somebody else that knows Michael's first and last name. And why he has that. And how he attained that the same way I told you. Which I told you a long time ago. I told you the name. I told you what it means. I told you what it meant when Jesus was referring to himself as this. The mystery of Melchizedek and what does he represent, and El Elyon and what does he represent. I could give you a hint. El Elyon does not represent Elon. Doesn't represent Elon Musk. Nah, man. People said, oh, Elon was seen as the ambassador of Mars in this new book. Also was in it Wernher von Braun. Dude, here's where we're going to end this with, okay? Elon, I think he's a good person. I really do. I think he's good, okay? I think his intentions may not be good, I guess. I don't really get too caught up on intentions. Same with Trump. Same with Donald Trump. You got to recognize what fuels a man like this. What is fueling Trump? Like what is it? And what is endowing him with this power? And Elon too. I'm curious, really, and I'm open to being wrong about both of these men. I can only tell you what I know. I try to see into their hearts and gain insight from that. I haven't really yet. Trump is a big bluffer. That's all I could tell. He talks recklessly with his mouth and uses his height to feed his ego, and he sucks up to whoever is capitulating with his ideology. I don't agree with it. I don't find him agreeable. And I don't find either one of them agreeable. Of the agreeable nature that, that are talked about, the Anunnaki, they're of the agreeable nature. And certain men, that live on this earth, they're of the disagreeable nature. That's how you could tell what seed they represent. And as far as Trump goes, I see disagreeableness. Same with Elon on many fronts. And I can only tell you that and share that with you, man. I can't really tell you anything else about it. Like, I'm not predicting anything or, saying anybody's any of this. A lot of people think he's Antichrist. What that means, and I don't know. I'm not that biblically in tune, where I get answers like that. When I get answers, I get answers. I share them immediately. I share the inspiration. I take the influence. I run with it. I usually haven't been wrong, but what I see is not the same person I saw before. With Trump, what I see is a man that switched sides or something like that, or parties or something. That's what I see. I was, part and incorporated with what Trump was doing when Mike Pence was around. This is a new asshole with a new face and a mask. JD Vance, hey, you got a pretty face, man. You got memes, nice blue eyes. Meemaw loves you. I didn't have a Meemaw, though. Enjoy your Meemaw, man. Honestly. You're probably not a bad guy. You made some comments early on that is typical. People forget JD Vance, man. Is well known and reportedly shown, dude, calling like Donald Trump basically an asshole, and that he reminded him of Hitler and his ideology, and just was completely like a virus to this country. Now he bends the knee. To Trump, and basically these guys would actually they would line up to just, perform oral sex on Trump if it need be. That's how much they bow down to him, is what I said, bro. So something's off with that. What happened to the free thinkers and speakers and people that spoke with authority and for God and didn't fake shit, dude? They didn't fake it. There wasn't two-timing, there wasn't backstabbing. There wasn't talking behind somebody's back. Because what you say behind somebody's back, you're going to be called to give an account by somebody scrutinizing you. And then you have to give an excuse on why you talk behind that person's back. And usually with politics, they just capitulate, bend the knee, best friends. Classic example, JD Vance. Who has the initials of Donald Trump, and I'm sure has some kind of sigil magic, dark magic, and relations with Trump. And Trump's, motherboard. I say motherboard. Stargate AI, takeover, revolution. Do I trust it? No. Because I don't trust AI. When I saw AI, I saw the devil. Everything that the devil is and was. And you better start waking up if you don't listen.